So you guys were I'm hearing a lot of you guys wanted a theme song shortened, so here we go. This girl reviews movies, games, and books. Sometimes she plays them. So does that, and when she does it with the cat, does that make her crazy? Does that make her crazy? Probably. So, it's shorter. There you go. Crazycatlady or Martha Butler does not own any trailers or pictures. I use them under fair use, educational, for and entertainment purpose. I read one part here. So you did this thing saying I need to have like a meeting with people. But that's basically it. Not much. Any points to give me?
Still alive, I see. Something tells me that eyesore on the horizon is your doing. How'd you manage that? It's a long story.
I didn't do that. Ultima did.
I'd rather only tell once. Right. All hands on deck then.
I will not talk to nobody else but you. I'll tell you only one time. Why does not like to repeat himself. Oh, Byron's here. I didn't know Byron was here.
This, everyone. As I'm sure you've all guessed, the crystal which now commands the eastern skies was summoned by Ultima. He called it Origin. Though the significance of that name is as yet unclear.
What does it matter what it's called? Its emergence tore Twinside asunder and wiped my homeland from the map.
It did the same thing to him.
Mention of the Dominion spires can be found in the oldest of Vanstian records. But to the best of my knowledge, none provide any hint as to their true nature, that they would prove the horns of some slumbering demon. Well,
The Dominion's demise was at least quick. Elsewhere, the Republican army cannot hope to contain the chaos engulfing Randalar. Canberra is in flames, and the Empire.
Our allies are crying out for answers. I've sent the Cursebreakers to give them what assurances we can, but right now that amounts to fuck all.
They wouldn't be able to stop what the skies have started in any case. People here and across the realm grow sicker with every passing day. Could it be that this new mother crystal is like the others? That it draws upon the land's ether? It suddenly looked that way from stone here.
If that were true, it would explain the hastening spread of the blight since the crystal's appearance. Would it not?
And as the land's ether slowly rises to the surface, it pulls, corrupting all who cannot channel its energies. Archaea above, ether floods below, and in the middle, here we languish, hopelessly entrapped.
Sounds like he's quoting a book.
It's all right. When we faced him at Stone here, Ultima told us his true power quickens in the halls of Origin. Needless to say, we cannot allow that to continue. If we are to stop him, we will have to find a way into the crystal.
How are we going to manage that then? He's up in the sky. And fast as she is, the Enterprise can't fly.
Unless you give her wings.
It's a lot to take in, but I reckon we'd all benefit from some time to clear our heads. The answer will come to us. Don't you worry. Ain't that right, Clive? That's right. Well, go on then. Bugger off. Same goes for you, Clive. You won't solve anything like this. Trust me. Go and get some fresh air, right? Thank you. Joshua seemed upset.
Okay. Not yet. I'll talk to that guy. Talk to the book guy later.
Ultima may have created us, but he doesn't make us who we are. Only we can do that. And if he would have us fight for our survival, so be it. It's what we've been doing all along.
Much like Ultima himself, it would seem. His new world being naught but a means to survive. And so, we must contend to decide which of us shall inherit the land. Should Ultima prevail, it will mean death for us all. Of that, we can be certain. But even should he fail, what world awaits us? A withered, godless place, where our newfound freedom will most like prove a chain in itself.
Well, that may be. But a chain can always be broken. As long as one has the will to break it, it won't be easy. It may take generations, centuries of suffering. And that is, if everyone plays their part. But it will happen. And when it does, it will be on our terms. That is the world that awaits us.
Indeed. And what better world could one wish for?
But first, we have to reach that crystal.
Then it's a good thing I have wings.
Yeah, but if we step on you, we might have burnt feet.
Only the Founder knows what horrors await in those skies. You certain about this?
Am I certain? I am the Phoenix. I will do what I must. This is our fight. Remember?
All right. I yield. But only what you must. Yes. I am still your sworn shield.
That you are.
And what of my wings?
Yeah, he can still turn. And it's
Lest you forget,
he can
you're
control
going to stand
himself
against a
after he
god.
turns.
I would not have you succumb to fatigue before.
He'll be able to turn as long as he didn't. Because since Clive still has his... Clive has Dion's power, he might not, he might go berserk.
The fight begins. Ifrit, your brother mentioned that some few of the dominants who had lost their power to you were still able to prime. Is that true?
It is. But their icons no longer submitted to their will.
Then mine will have to be stronger. That you both might save your strength for the battle to come.
You don't have to do this.
If you do, there's a chance you might lose all you have left.
And what have I but regret? My life ended in the Dominion. I fear death no more. Besides, I would have words with Ultima. He has much to answer for. We are in your debt, Leon. We can speak of debts when this is over.
Yeah, we're all still alive.
He speaks like a man who knows he's not coming back. Has come to terms with that.
That doesn't mean that we have to, does it, Clive?
Time to talk to Jill.
I'm only saying
I
that.
hope she understands.
My Lord Marquis, I heard about Eastpool. That some of my fellow Guardians are to build a new home there, both for themselves and for Madame Martha's bearers. Is it true?
It's true. The village is to be rebuilt.
I have many fond memories of Eastpool. When I was a child, we would visit my aunt and uncle often. They would lavish attention upon me as if I were the son they never had. I went to see Aunt Hannah after my uncle passed away, but not nearly as often as I should have.
Oscar, I'd like you to assist Sir Wade in the rebuilding efforts.
But my lord, my training is not yet complete. I couldn't possibly.
I warned you I might not be the easiest at masters, but I'm not as hard-hearted as that. Go. Be with your aunt. Rebuild her home. Is what she would have wanted.
Yes, my lord. Thank you, my lord.
Okay. Noctis died in 15. Only one I know. As far as I know, Leon slash Squall, I think, dies in 8. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not actually played the end of it. I don't know what happens with 9. And in 7, I think Cloud lives, so... yeah. Not a... Usually it's not a good ending. There's a reason why these games are called Final Fantasy.
Come to wish on a star.
That might not be such a bad idea. This is it, Jill. You know what I have to do. Why I have to do it. There's no turning back now. This is where our journey was leading us. Where it will end, for better or worse.
I could pray to Metia for you. You'll be all right, won't you, Clive? You always are.
I did promise we'd watch the moon together.
I'll be waiting.
It's almost time. Better make sure I haven't forgotten anything.
Why didn't you kiss her?
In record, I have told you I've added to your burden, and when you ask aid in a personal matter and the benefits of your cause. There is this mercy of instant of model that offered a instant of crime and a chance to encounter such tone of a distant and speaking with of the scholar courteously with the burden of this very day. I wish that entitled aids to your claim of that text. You should acquire further information. I know I am willing to offer consultation or service regarding vexen.
Something tells me this is no mere adventure story.
There's still one letter. Okay, how do I do a Karen voice? She's elderly and she has an English accent. I don't know. I need to do a freaking Mrs. Doubtfire voice. Sweet. It's too deep. Darn it. I'm just gonna do my voice, sorry. In case that you often notice, your poor hound spends all of his days on late bare decking, weeping like gaps in his cups. Something ain't right, and my gut tells me that nasty in his service Emperor Bones, Karen.
What is it this time, Torgal?
Don't tell me that! You're gonna help me climb!
Clive, my boy! Rutherford informs me that we owe you our thanks. Hadn't intended for you to get involved. But such are the times we live in, huh? I would have done the same for anyone else. You're far too modest, Clive. You'd make a terrible nobleman. But tell me, is the realm truly in as dire a state as Rutherford suggests? From what little I saw, you were right to be worried. I suppose I should have expected the worst. But I was rather hoping the great and good of the realm might have things a little more under control. Alas, it seems that firm leadership is in short supply these days, and without it, the people are bound to lose their way. We must move quickly. But where do we start? True, the challenges that face us are many. But in my estimation, there are two key areas to be addressed before any other. The realm's armies and her larders. As you've seen firsthand, it's every man and woman for themselves out there. Certain cities have banded together to try and maintain some semblance of order, yes, but such cases are few and far between. And yet, the only remedy for the chaos that faces us is unity. A unity that transcends even the borders laid down by our ancestors. In short, if Storm does not stand together, she will fall apart. But how would one even begin to unite the realm? The armies, my boy. As I told you already, we begin by restoring order among the ranks of those sworn to maintain it. Sadly, I doubt I could convince even the lowliest gaggle of privates to dig in a train together. But I do know someone the high commanders have been known to listen to on occasion. Field Marshal Eugen Havel. I thought he was retired. He was,
until an Akashic army tore through Randalar and killed most of the rank and file. There is no man alive more capable. Literally. And as luck would have it, I've already spoken with him on the matter.
Of course you have.
And he's agreed to help. On one condition. That he first speaks with you personally. Havel has always been a man of frustratingly rigid principle. And he has certain qualms about clasping arms with, well, with an outlaw. I extolled your many virtues as best I could, of course, but the old goat was adamant that he be allowed to appraise you in person. You don't mind, do you, my boy?
Of course not. As long as chaos reigns, we will never build a better world. I'll do whatever it takes. And if the Field Marshal wishes to speak with me in person, then so be it.
That's the spirit.
I'll leave for Randalar at once. Would you send a Stolas?
Of course. Rutherford is already in the Dalmekian capital.
Send them now.
Tell Havel to expect you forthwith.
Excellent. Thank you, Uncle.
No, thank you, Clive.
Ah, Clive.
Joshua, what's wrong? And don't say nothing.
It's
Nothing.
I've received word from Cyril. The Undying have found Father's will, or something akin to it.
His will. How? Where?
In the crypt beneath Rosalith Castle. After Kupka was kind enough to drive out the Imperials, the Undying took the opportunity to recover what relics of the duchy yet remained. And in the process of doing so, they found a letter from Father.
I'm surprised anything survived down there.
Cyril asked that I join him in Tabor at my convenience. I have been meaning to go, but would you join me?
Of course. I want to know what's in that letter as much as you do.
Very well. I am ready to leave when you are.
Sid, I was wondering if you could help me. It depends what with. A bearer, but recently freed from his bonds, is keen to join the Curse Breakers. As you know, the work we do is not easy, which is why we test every volunteer's suitability. I was hoping you could oversee this one's evaluation. I don't mind, but why this one? Because he wants to be a scout. Our ranks are filled with men and women capable of breaking chains and putting slavers to the sword. But scouting, we're few with the nose for that, which is why we still rely so heavily on Gav. And since he accompanies you on so many of your missions, I thought you might be better placed to recognise the traits in him that we should look for in those who'd fill his boots. Sounds reasonable. So you're happy to oversee the boys' test, then? One can never have too many scouts. Truer words, Sid. I'll let the initiate know that you'll be attending his trial, and that he is to proceed directly to Northreach in readiness. No time like the present, eh? No time like the present. I'll await you there. Northreach. I don't suppose they could have chosen somewhere closer. Vivian, I read your note, and I'd be happy to help you find the book you're looking for.
Thank you, Clive. But tracking it down will not be easy. Are you sure?
Please. You have always granted me your wisdom and insight whenever I asked. It's only right that I return the favor. Or at least attempt to.
You are too kind. Alas, what I ask of you is rather more trying than delivering the odd lecture. I spoke with Harpocrates to see if he had any inkling as to where another copy might be found, but But perhaps it is best that you hear the details from him.
If you say so.
Forgive me, Clive, for asking this of you. But this book, it set me on the path to becoming who I am today. Its importance cannot be overstated.
Oh, so it's yours. Book that made you who you are. You know how many books did that for me? I have lost count.
How are you doing? Anything catch your eye?
I'll go down there
Seen enough?
eventually. Okay, so that's the two that I haven't done yet, because there are two more. I have not gone back there yet. Nothing in there? Okay. Alright, who do you have a crush on this time?
All
You look
this
at me!
time, my heart has wandered hither and thither in search of the perfect companion.
No!
When all along he was here, standing right beside me.
Ah! You get at me! I belong to jail!
Holy cheese monster! Shit out of
What
me!
do you think happened to Miss Middledore? I heard she was kicked out of the university.
Sid, you have to help us.
With what? You didn't take apart another of Mid's contraptions, did you?
No? Well, yes. But that's not what we want to talk to you about.
It's Miss Middledore. She's been acting strange. Very strange. She's barely ever around.
When she is, she acts like we aren't even there. Her head's in a crowd.
In the clouds.
You silly
That's what I
kid!
said. In the clouds.
No, you didn't!
Well, she does have a lot on her mind. When did you last see her?
Not long ago. Right after she got back from saving you from Stonet.
Then it's probably just about the Enterprise. It did take quite a battering on the way there and back.
You didn't break it, did you, Sid? You really should be more careful around Miss Middeldore's inventions.
Are you three going to
Don't
talk?
listen to her. Even if you did break the Enterprise, you could put it back together, couldn't you?
But
The
losing
wall
her
broke
is
the
made of
Enterprise.
that. She seems really sad.
Barnabas broke the Enterprise, not me.
Why don't I go and see if I can cheer her up?
You do that? For us? She's in her dungeon.
It's not a real dungeon.
Thanks for the warning.
She's in her dungeon. You silly kids. She's in her dungeon. There's one up there.
I will not let them be forgotten. Sid, may I have a moment?
Of course.
It is an honor to finally speak with you. My name is Herman. I've been with the Cursebreakers for some time now.
You have?
And, I wish to be deployed to Ash. Any assignment will do.
No. The lands across the Narrow are too dangerous. I will not send good men and women to risk their lives needlessly. I would
Denied.
like to go back.
I need to retrieve something. Something important. I was raised in an orphanage. Badbach Conservatory. Or rather, I was held captive there. It was not a place of nurture. It existed solely to turn bearer children into mindless weapons. We were tortured until we feared no pain. Tormented until our hearts turned to stone. And few ever survived long enough to become tools of the last king.
I can't imagine.
I lost so many. I can't even remember all their names. But they must be remembered. They cannot fade away, faceless and forgotten. The Institute was run with military precision. Every child measured, every name recorded, every death logged with meticulous care. Sid, allow me to travel to Ash and recover the registry so that my brothers and sisters might live on.
You are a good friend, Herman. But the fact remains that Ash is simply too dangerous.
Sid, please, even should it cost me my life.
Too dangerous for you, Herman. But not for me. I'll go to Bad Buck and find the registry.
You will?
I won't let you risk your life.
I don't know how to thank you.
You can start by telling me where I'll find this orphanage.
The Grace. Hidden in a forest, overlooking the plains.
All right. I'll see what I can find there.
May the mothers guide you.
Okay, there you go, edit. First thing
Supposes magic keeping the thing afloat.
So everyone know she's been on as other names. She's been in Final Fantasy games before. Not as many as Sid or Biggs and Wedge, but she has been in them. I'll show pictures of characters she has been, or she's been mentioned. At least since 5. Do you want to correct me? Go ahead. But this is what I heard.
Ed, if you have a...
That's it! I knew it! The answer was right here under my arse all along! If this doesn't see into the skies,
What's
nothing
under
will.
your ass is wood.
To the skies. You aren't trying to give the Enterprise wings, are you?
I said
What
give
else
it
would I be
wings.
doing?
The children seem to think you're avoiding them. They're worried about you. Is this really so important that you need to shut yourself away from everyone?
The Enterprise is already the fastest ship in the realm, and that's with the sea beneath her. But what if she weren't bound to the waves? What if she weren't bound to anything at all? It's not fair. The gods get the skies all to themselves, so I'm going to do something about it. The
I don't
Falcons
have.
had their chance.
I can't do my power
But they relied too much on
Can't
magic.
Dad's power.
I
You
see
took it
where
away.
that got 'em. But not me. I've discovered how to do it without. Well, almost. First, I need to make a prototype.
And is that a one-woman job?
Are you volunteering? I'll have you know the Enterprise is my baby. But
Get your own
if
baby.
the Godfather's offering to lend a hand, I'd be happy to take it. First, I'll need oil, and not just some old drippings from Miss Molly's spits in the Tub and Crown. Refined stuff, like they make in Ordil. Then I'll need some bone, or shell. Light, strong, preferably no longer attached to the beast it belongs to.
If it's beast bones you're after, I'm sure the curse breakers will know where you might find some.
No, they'll know where you might find some. You're the one who offered to help, remember?
Time to play Gopher again.
I should speak
Yay!
with one of the curse breakers before I set off for Old Hill. See if I can't find this bone while I'm there as well.
Has Midadol mentioned a new project?
Is it just these two? No, there's like... There's several here. Okay, I need to do.
All right, Sid. Come to buy us around, have you?
Only if you earn it. Mid needs a piece of light but durable bone for her next project. You've encountered your share of beasts on your
I don't
travels
have
across the realm.
10,000
Any ideas?
guild
Most
anymore.
bones are the same.
Alright,
Like
I already did that
no break.
one.
If it's durability
Trophy.
you're looking for, shell will serve you better. You know what an adamantus is?
I do. I don't know to give them a wide berth. Will any old adamantus do?
Well, with shells, the older the harder. There's a rumour of an ancient adamantus down in Karava, near Old Bidza. All what's left of the village anyway. But don't expect to make quick work of the bastard. There's a reason it's lived as long as it has.
I'll keep that in mind. Thank you.
Sid, do you have a moment?
By all means.
It's my old master. Seems there's
Her
no
again.
escaping her. She found some way to send me a letter. And something else. Records from a Waluda prison. Seems they were keeping a lot of bearers there.
How did she come by such a thing?
Finding bearers always was her strong point. And it seems the cells of Balmung Dark are full of them. Foreign captives, the masterless. Bearers no one would miss. And even better for her.
What is she,
Bearers
freaking
with no one to
Kingpin?
look after them. When ether started lapping at the walls, the jailers fled.
Leaving the bearers to be liberated by whoever happened to come along next.
Sid, I'd like to believe that I've earned your trust by now. And while I'm well aware that you've forbidden Cursebreakers from traveling to Walud, I can't let those bearers die in their cells. I'd rather risk shipwreck on the Shadow Coast than leave them to starve.
We'll be needing the Enterprise if we're going to navigate the Narrow.
Does that mean...
I'm making an exception. That we travel together. And we stay no longer than we have to. Ash is an inhospitable place at the best of times. We save as many as we can, and we leave.
Thank you, Sid. There was a name in the prison register. A name from my past. Chadwick. Another of my former master's protégés. A gifted soldier, and the closest thing I had to family. The thought of him held captive in that place.
He must be very important to you.
He was. Is.
Then we find him.
The entrance to the prison lies in the shadow of Ravenwit walls, just beyond the portcullis. We should head there as quickly as we can. I only pray there are still bearers alive to save.
As do I, Doris.
Man, there's so many of them here. I'm happy you don't have a mission, Dion.
Ah, Clive, my boy. What a pleasure it is to see you.
Harpocrates. There's something I need to ask you. I've been charged with locating a book called From a Distance.
Then you seek a rare gem indeed. One whose name I had not thought to hear from your lips. You've been talking to Vivian.
Right as always. She didn't seem keen to tell me very much. I take it she didn't like what you had to say.
And yet I gather it did naught to dissuade her. Clive, if the young professor has tasked you with obtaining a copy, I fear she asks the impossible. The executors would not allow it.
The executors?
Coveters of secrets. A clandestine organization committed to the collection and intenebration of forbidden texts and technologies. One such text being the tome Vivian seeks, chronicling as it does the true history of the enslavement of bearers. A tale which could overturn the established order were it ever to become widely known. Or, so rumor has it. I've never actually read the thing, or even set eyes on it for that matter.
How is it that I haven't heard of this organization?
Why? Secrecy is the executor's watchword. They lurk in the shadows, emerging only to seize that which must be seized, be it books, inventions, or people, before disappearing again, leaving nary a trace.
Which would explain why Vivian's copy was snatched from her grasp not long after she found it.
By the hand of the executors, yes.
But what drives them? Self-interest or ideology?
Fine question. Sadly, all that is known of the executors can be recounted in a single breath. You may just as soon ask me of their origins, numbers, or the identities of their leaders. Any answer I give would be pure speculation.
My hunt was doomed from the first. What was Vivian expecting? That I'd pluck it from thin air?
Not from thin air, no. From ash. Rumors of the executors are rife among the scholars of Storm, but rather less so across the strait. I have a friend. Well, I had a friend in the village of Garnick, a collector of rare tomes, upon which subject we would oft correspond. Alas, I have heard naught from him since the skies fell dark. And no doubt he too has turned. But though he did not mention it by name, it is possible that a surviving copy of From a Distance yet rests upon one of his many shelves, quietly awaiting discovery. If you were, by some chance, able to save even a single book from the poor man's library, I know his soul would rest easier.
Very well. When I next find myself in Waloed, I'll be sure to pay Garnick a visit.
Sounds like a book burning.
I was wondering when next you'd visit. I have compiled some new entries, if you would like to see them.
Dun, dun, dun,
This, I
dun.
believe you will find most interesting.
Yikes! A Barbus's mom. This, do you want to read it? Pause. So you know me, I have a hard time reading.
If you have a question for me, I should be happy to answer it. You are always welcome, Clive.
I'm guessing you're only gonna have me level. What's wrong, boy? You want a bone? Nope, I can't give you a bone. Because I don't. You're not in that type of mode. Fine, you get a bone once I'm done with this.
Hiding for something, boy. What is it? What do you see out there?
Water.
I never did ask where you got that anklet of yours.
From Sid, that's why. On the day he brought him home.
How long ago?
And you're only thinking to ask this now? Sid saw that the pup had a habit of gnawing on his leg, since you ask. Clap that there iron on him to keep him from doing it.
What was wrong, boy?
I'll take like as not. Must have been hard on the poor whelp losing his loving masters at such a young age. Doubly hard in being a frost wolf, torn away from his icons and all. Sid would always tell him, you want my iron gone, you find what it is you're looking for. I reckon what he was looking for was you.
I'm sorry, Toggle. Sorry for making you wait so long. Let's get that thing off you.
Whoa!
Don't sound like he wants it off.
Indeed.
Just whoa!
You miss Sid as much as the rest of us, don't you?
So, word?
You want me to go with you somewhere?
Quick, can't you? Glad you've been paying attention.
Not nearly as much as you have, Lady Karen.
Aye, good thing and all. It's not like Gav would have kept him in nuts and rubbed his belly these past 10 summers.
Your kindness is appreciated. You've been a good friend to him.
Only because he doesn't talk back like the rest of you. Go on now.
Oh, bro.
to then, Torgal?
Okay, so we only got one more here. Let's go to that one first, and then we can leave the map. Ready, Torgal?
Alright, Torgal. Where are you taking me? I'm going to need a little bit more than that, boy.
I don't speak wide.
Do you have a better hint for me? Unless you've already given me one. Back on the rear deck, you were looking west, toward Rosaria.
Go home.
Why don't we try the rookery? I haven't been to the island in almost 20 years. To Port Isolde, then. Fingers crossed the old mooring is still there.
Okay.
It's well. After what happened here, it's a miracle there was any left at all. This should be enough. It's still here. After all these years.
Nobody stole our
I
boat?
remember. And you were a lot bigger. You might have to swim, boy. I wasn't being serious.
You two go on without me. I doubt that boat will hold a third.
If you're sure, we won't be long. Hop in, boy. This place hasn't changed at all. Rookery's right through those trees.
Darn it.
Come
I
on.
guess I can't go back and fix that
Right you
marker
there.
I did.
I bet I can still beat you.
Ah, a treehouse.
Here we are. This was our hideaway. Wasn't it, Torgal?
Ah, little Torgal.
Coming here helped me to forget who I was.
Bet you probably jumped up here this time, Torgal.
Shield.
Because I can't carry you.
Son his mother could love. Had I been any one of those things? Perhaps. What is it, boy?
His armor.
This is all for Okay. Did you bring these here?
There's a puppy.
My sparring sword.
Oh.
Well. You never stopped looking for me, did you, boy?
Oh.
Thank you.
I'm gonna cry. Good boy, Dorgal.
For never giving up. For never forgetting. Let's take this with us, shall we? So I don't forget either. That's not the way back to the boat, Torgal.
We're not done yet, buddy?
All right. I'm coming. I think I know where we're going.
Are we going home?
People always talk about the importance of putting the past behind you. But without it, we wouldn't be who we are today. And we certainly couldn't steer our way to a better tomorrow. Come on, Torgal. Let's go home. Sorry for the wait. We're ready. Here we are again. Carava. It looks like we found him. To me, boy. My strength is... Let darkness fall! I've heard Torgal. Over here! Many flames! I better get these materials to Mid so she can finish her prototype.
Your Grace, my lord, I trust your journey was not overly onerous.
Cyril, you found a letter from Father.
Yes, I have it here. If you would do us the honor, my lord.
I know I've asked much of you in coming to this war, but there's no other way to see the security of the future of our duty and our family. And yet, you should concede in the semblance of the service of winning back Drake's breath, and the threat of the Blight still looms. But on there, with all the Rosalit service ones might be the overcome it, or might make it plan to see a big such as observed in other ways, and likely while coming to my work. And I know that you have the courage, the strength, the courage to do what will do so. And shall be blades inherit, and I offered you others, and you have might remind that our love is faith and hold for both of you. Your father.
An inheritance.
It would seem the late Archduke penned this missive shortly before his passing.
The day before we left for Phoenix Gate.
What are these plans he spoke of? His plans for the duchy, your grace. Your father entrusted them to my predecessor, the former bearer of the burning quill, who entrusted them in turn to me. The
complete emancipation of bearers is their stated aim. But your father's dream did not end there. His Grace also spoke of building hospices to care for those stricken by the curse, and the founding of a new university to further the development of non-magical technologies. With the blight spreading ever more widely across the twins, Archduke Elwyn saw this as the only means of securing Rosaria's survival.
He wished to see men and bearers treated as equals, and to see centuries of common wisdom overturned. Small wonder he did not think it achievable within his lifetime.
But he thought it achievable nonetheless. Had he not, he would never have written this message. Nor would he have entrusted his vision to his most faithful aides, those who would have stood with you, shielded you from the machinations of the less benevolent personages at court.
It's a pity only they are still with us.
It is true that those most loyal to your father were the first to suffer the Duchess's wrath. But one at least remains, and she has come bearing gifts.
What do you mean?
Mayhap it is better that she explain, my lord. After all, the duties entrusted to me by my predecessor extended only to recovering His Grace's will and arranging a meeting with the one who might execute it, or a part of it at least.
And where is this woman?
She awaits you in the archive, Your Grace.
Thank you, Cyril. Shall we then?
Lord Marquis, if you have a moment.
What is it, Cyril?
One of our brethren lately journeyed across the strait in order to pursue a new avenue of inquiry in our ongoing investigation. He sent an owl some while ago, but we have heard naught from him since.
Was he surveying another fallen ruin?
No. The object of his study was a savior cult that has arisen in Ash in recent years. We believe it may have some connection to the Circle of Malleus, an ancient religion that worshipped Ultima as its god. By gaining an understanding of this new faith, we hoped to learn more of the Circle's original beliefs.
And so you sent one of your brothers to Ash, a continent teeming with orcs and Akashic.
Fully cognizant of the risks, yes. I entrusted the mission to one of the most able of our order, the third chair, a master of the arts of combat and survival both. Though he has been
The third
silent
chair
for some
was the
days
third
now, I
person
have
on
thus
the
far
round
refrained
table.
from sending any others in search of him, lest they be lost in turn. Yet, it seemed only right to inform you of the situation, given your unique experience of the perils of Ash. For as you so earnestly advised me, it would not do to abandon a man to his fate, when he might yet be saved.
You would not. But Ash is a big place. Can you be any more specific?
Perhaps. The last owl I received from him mentioned a village where he had heard the cult were wont to assemble. Mickleburg was its name. It lies in the southern reaches of Waloed. If aught ill befell him, I expect it did so there.
Right. I'll see what I can do.
You are much too kind, my lord. Go then, with my hopes, and may the firebird's flame ever burn in your heart.
If this new faith really is an offshoot of the Circle of Malleus,
Let's concentrate on finding the third chair first, shall we?
My lord, your grace. I hardly recognize you.
Were you one of the characters we
I am
didn't see at the
Godfather,
beginning?
retainer of House Rosfield, loyal servant to the Phoenix and his shields. Your father, the Archduke Elwyn, entrusted me with the delivery of a gift. I only hope you can forgive my tardiness in bringing it to you.
Lift up your head, Lady Goditha. You have our gratitude for your service to our house and to our father.
I merely did my duty, as any proud Rosarian would.
My lady.
Perhaps you could explain a little more. What exactly is the gift you bring?
As I'm sure you know, it has long been the custom for the children of House Rosfield to be presented with certain keepsakes upon their coming of age.
Indeed it has. Our father often spoke of the day when our turn would come.
And had he lived to see it, he would have presented you with the treasures I bear. Matching armbands for you both. Alas, he did not live. Indeed, he was taken from us even before they could be completed. He had intended to claim the Heartstone with which each armband was to be finished himself, but it was not to be. And his gifts remain incomplete.
I see.
It saddens me to bring them before you, as they are. It was your father's wish that you be presented with the finished articles, not these works in progress. But with his grace long since gone, and the stone left unclaimed, I had little choice. You are grown men now, and his house is yours. And while I would not presume to insist upon your claiming the Heartstone in his stead, I know that nothing would have pleased him more than for you to do so.
Thank you, Lady Goditha.
What say you, Clive?
What else? Of course, my lady. May our father's will be done.
Oh, I am much obliged.
Do you know where we might find this Heartstone, my lady?
I do. Though it may be a matter of a good deal more than simply happening upon it. It is found in the bellies of elder griffins, you see. You do at least know where to find one. A certain specimen has made its nest in Titan's Wake, not far from here.
A certain specimen?
You are most perceptive, Your Grace. In answer to your unspoken question, yes. In fact, this is the very same beast your father meant to slay. I have been tracking its movements since you were but a boy. Were you to slay it in his stead, as men of House Rosfield, it would surely make your father proud.
What say you, Joshua? What else?
Oh, you're still here.
Here to help me pack? Thanks, but I'll be traveling light. I'm almost finished already, in fact.
You're really going to go through with this, then?
I am. But before I go, there is one small issue I'd like your assistance with. Well, two, in fact.
If it's within my power to help you, I will.
It's the children. I refuse to let them share in my disgrace. And if I leave them here, they surely will. Our friendship would see them ostracized forever. But I can't take them with me either. I can think of only one place where they are certain to be safe, and provided for, and loved. The hideaway.
Of course. The children will be more than welcome.
Thank you, Clive. I will not forget this.
Lumor, are you still here?
What is it, Ferda? You look pale.
There's been a flood in the Velcroy, a damn big one. The League of Outlaws encampment was completely submerged in ether.
What?
Every last one of the bastards has turned, and they're headed this way.
Bandits are one thing, but Akashic bandits are quite another. The town guard won't stand a chance against them. We need to evacuate. There's no time to lose. Ferda, gather the men. The Akashic may strike at any moment. We must make ready to cover the townspeople's escape. Well, what are you waiting for?
Yes, my lord.
Clive, change of plan. The children stay with me for now. I need you to find Conrad and Natalie.
Tell them to prepare for a full and immediate evacuation. Understood.
This version of Jasmine and
I'll do
Jafar.
what I can to convince everyone else. Wish me luck.
I don't know a female that's a bad. Except unless you want to look for the cartoon, but I don't remember their names.
What's an cat?
Look for the TV show, but I don't remember
Listen to me.
those characters'
They're
names.
coming. You need to evacuate.
And they're not. It shows on Disney Plus for some reason.
Ah, it's you.
What do you want, Lord Underhill?
To pass on an important message. There's been an ether flood out in the Velcroy. The camp where the so-called League of Outlaws were gathering has been swallowed. They're no longer just bandits. They're Akashic now, and they could be here at any moment. You need to begin preparing for a full-scale evacuation right away.
Oh, do we? And who was it who gave you this disturbing news, might I ask?
Lubor, perhaps? The man spreading the same poison out in the square as we speak. You may believe his lies, my lord, but we know better.
But why would he lie about something like this?
Some twisted attempt at revenge, perhaps. If he had not been unmasked, he may well have been elected our leader. A great honor for one of his kind. One he might well feel aggrieved at having been denied.
Lord Underhill, forgive me, but it has become all too evident where your sympathies lie. Lubor cannot be trusted, and neither, therefore, can you.
You may not trust me. But for the sake of your people, ask yourselves if there is any chance that this is true.
There isn't. You can be certain of that. Now be off with you.
I had a
You're making a
feeling you still
mistake.
wouldn't believe us.
Come, Clive.
If
If
you
our words will
two...
not move them, then we must find another way to help save the town.
Okay, Joshua.
Let's speak to Lord Ferda.
Why do they always have to make such a fuss?
You have to listen to me. They're coming.
Now we got a wolf
I think we
from
better-
Wolf Sea
What's
here.
Lubor ready for the town now?
Now they don't want to leave him because the wolves are coming.
What commotion is this? I asked myself. A sudden stampede of customers towards my humble stall? No. It was a stampede.
Lord Ferda. Sid, what's wrong? I went to warn Conrad and Natalie about the Akashic, but
They don't believe it.
they wouldn't listen. They've convinced themselves that nothing Lubor says can be trusted. The bloody fools. Which means the town guard can't be counted on for support. But I can. If there's anything I can do to help you defend Dalamil, you only have to ask. I appreciate it.
Sid! Ferda! I've been looking for you everywhere.
Victor, I thought you left.
I couldn't abandon a friend in need. And Blue Boy is in need at this very moment. Come quickly. You have to believe me. The Akashic are coming. They don't eat. They don't sleep. They don't tire. And they don't care who they kill. They're unlike anything that's come before. There will be no parley, no mercy granted. We may have saved the town once, but this is different. I do not ask that you forgive me, but please believe me. If you do not run, you will die. You will all fucking die!
You'd like that, wouldn't you, Bearer?
Yeah, with us out of the way, your kind will be free to claim Dalamil for yourselves.
You should run!
Run, Bearer!
Yeah, run! Far away!
Just go on, yeah.
I knew they were for a walk eventually. Oh great, we're gonna have a... He's gonna get friggin' stoned to death.
Oh, wait. Someone's coming.
Oh no, don't you dare to stone them! They're kids! You got a freaking Paul situation here.
What did Lubor ever do to you? Hmm? He solves all your stupid problems, and he keeps all of you safe. You know there's nothing he wouldn't do for this town. Who was it who made that cleaver you use every day, Conrad? And what about your counting table, Natalie? Who fixed that? Whose men make sure the streets are clean so all your boots don't get dirty? Who spends all day, every day making sure things run smoothly around here? And none of you ever say thank you. Ever. But did Lubor ever complain? Well, does he ever stop smiling? He keeps this whole place going! And you act like he doesn't even exist!
Lubor, we have heard enough.
Wait!
We will not run. The town guard will not abandon the very place it is sworn to protect.
And I will not give up for lost the stores that we labored so hard to fill.
So tell us, how do you propose we deal with these Akashic of yours?
We won't run, but we will fight.
All right then. Fine. Gather around if you don't want to die. Allow me to explain the situation. The ether flood occurred near the village of Charatina, deep in the Velcroy. The place had been abandoned for years, until the League of Outlaws decided to make it their base of operations. Now they are all turned, and if the scouts' reports are correct, heading in this direction. They are mindless monsters, driven only by hate and rage. They are utterly unpredictable. With the bandits, we at least knew how and where they were likely to attack. When these creatures come, Dalamil will have the bitterest fight it has ever faced on its hands. The town guard will muster at the north gate. The rest of us will take the south. Both forces will provide men to serve as scouts and messengers, ready to spread word of the size and nature of the Akashic force as soon as it is spotted. And as soon as it has been, we will converge on its position and see that it is driven back from Dalamil at all costs. Conrad, can I count on the support of the town guard? Always. I leave the selection and coordination of the messengers in your hands, Victor. And the command of our men in yours, Ferden. If you would both be so kind, consider it done. As you wish. Natalie, I would ask that you and your people have the townsfolk barricade themselves inside the bathhouse. And tell the merchants not to waste time securing anything beside the essentials. Preserving life is our one and only concern. As long as we survive, it doesn't matter what trinkets we might lose. our riches can be regained. And if anyone doubts that, let it be known that the Briar's Kiss stands ready to cover any losses.
Very well. I shall tell them.
Where do I fit into this plan?
Where else but the most perilous place of all? I would like you to travel to the home of our erstwhile League of Outlaws, Cheratina itself. Main host is most likely still there, and Dalamil will not be safe until it is eradicated, root and branch.
A little gardening. How pleasant.
I doubt it. I have a feeling these weeds will be particularly stubborn.
Luckily, so am I.
So you are. All right then, we all know what we have to do. Now it's simply a matter of doing it. For Dalamil.
Looks like everyone's ready. I'd better not keep them waiting.
So we know I'm in our
There it
field
is.
situation.
The flood. But what's waiting for us inside? We can't leave a single one alive. It's over. is disbanded. I should get back to Dalamil and see how the others fared.
All the Akashic we were able to find have been dealt with. Seems that might be the last of them.
Last of them here, perhaps?
Lubo,
Sid, Clive has returned.
Clive! What news from Charatina?
It's done. Root and branch.
I knew you wouldn't let me down.
Thank you, my lord.
Friends, the Horde has been driven back. The Akashic have been defeated. And we need not fear the arrival of any more, thanks to Clive. Victory is ours.
You still want me to leave?
Bloody did it!
We saved Dalamil.
Yeah, I'm here.
Lobor,
You!
allow me to apologize. After all you have done for this town, we should never have doubted you.
But we did. And for that we are truly sorry. We only hope that you can forgive us.
We need you, Lubor. Dalamil needs you.
No more rocks thrown at him!
If you would still
And the
like to
kids,
be
come
considered
on!
for the position of mayor, you have our backing.
You do remember that I'm a bearer, don't you?
We do. But that is not a stain on your character. It is a stain on ours. We thought only of what we perceived bearers to be, not what you truly are. The man who saved Dalamil twice over.
I see. But I will only accept your proposal on 2 conditions.
Name them.
Firstly, that you will both do everything in your power to rally your people to my cause. If the Town Guard and the Merchants League do not accept my leadership, it will be doomed from the start. Unity is the key to defending Dalamil, and I do not doubt that we shall need to call on our combined strength again. When that time comes, I will expect us all to pull together, just as we did today.
Of course. You have our word.
And secondly, you will accept that if I am to lead you, the mistreatment of bearers must end here in Dalamil. Any bearer within our walls shall be afforded the same rights as any other citizen. They will not be judged by what they are, but who they are.
As we failed to do, and came so close to losing everything.
We agree to your conditions. And we have only one in return. That you continue to work for the good of Dalamil, as you always have.
Condition accepted. Well then, it seems my mayorship is all but confirmed. Do I get some sort of special hat?
You already were wearing a hat.
How fickle fate can be. Not so long ago, I had resigned myself to leaving Dalamil in disgrace. And now, I find myself her leader. Here. For everything.
Lubor, about the children.
Fear not, you are of course relieved of your responsibility. I would sooner face another horde of Akashic than see them brought up as outlaws. I'll make sure they're safe here.
I don't doubt that you will. And not just the children, but everyone in Dalamil.
I'll do my best.
And that's all
all
we
your
could ever
hard
ask
work
for.
going to waste.
That one was good. So we're gonna end it here. I know I haven't had every single one of those missions under the red gone, but this video has been already long enough, and I didn't finish some of them that I started, but I'll finish the rest hopefully next time before we go to the final mission, probably in this game. So see you guys later. Like, share, subscribe, and bye bye.